Greetings to all my comrades of the APC. This is the APC online TV platform, and this is the voice of the diaspora. Me na comrade OrWanKaSu. And this program na the APC one-to-one upfront interview with comrade OrWanKaSu to all comrades that really aspire for various positions them within the APC. Today, we get one of the comrade who they aspire na the UK and Ireland branch, district stroke, and now an household name, somebody where nobody know without within the APC. So without speaking too much, I just want bring the comrade in, make himself introduce himself to we, make it tell we who that's not him and which position we he aspire for. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Comrade OrWanKaSu. Compliments of the season. Happy New Year to you and the entire media team, the APC UK and I. And season's greetings also to all comrades and also to your numerous viewers out there. Me na Comrade Adams Bangura. For short, Adams for the Bangura. My childhood name is Ofotina. That's not the original name that way anybody will call a name. They no say it know me right from the beginning. Me and I member of the APC UK and I, a long-standing member of the APC party generally. Some can say APC at birth, right from birth, me don't be a member of this party, owing to the fact, say, me daddy, both na the mommy side and papa side, they've all been lifelong members of this party. I born in Freetown. I spent part of my childhood in Freetown. But my daddy na being somebody where I be a visionary person. Out of all the picking their way he born, my daddy gets with 21, 3 wives. And out of all of them, he say me for go upline. He send me Usa Ibon Akambia, Medina. I go there, I spend part of my childhood there. But before I go there, I attended the Wesleyan Nursery School, na Kisi. Then from there, I go to the St. Michael's Primary School, na Kisi as well. From St. Michael's, I began for more go upline, spend part of my childhood there. I attended the government secondary school, Medina. This na a school where na the late C.A. Camara Taylor, the founding Secretary General of we party, na in Bill na school there. So I spent part of my childhood na boarding home, na secondary school there. And then from there, I also proceeded for camp na Freetown during the war. I came and attended the Ahmadiyya Muslim Secondary School. So, in short, my historic family background of the APC party, and this is something we most times people don't know about. Me daddy now one part the very first countryman where I go say engineers, electrical engineers, where we former president and the founder of the APC party, Papa Sheki, Pop Shek, be sent na Cairo, Egypt for go do engineering. And when my daddy finished his studies, he can begin work for the National Power Authority, NPA as it were. And my daddy na in lead the commissioning of the Bo the Bo Kenema Power Station and also the Blackwell Road Power Station. And my daddy na in lead them projects in the during of course 1961, before we independence, it was one of those people where the previous Prime Minister Magai be arrested because he say these were the Shekels living loyalists them, then gets a tendency for making no give lights in the country as a way of sabotaging the independence. That was the accusation then. So me daddy then be put on the gunpoint. Right at the point where then at NPA, they tell and say, if lights go, will they cut you off. So, but again, it's telling team say made ensure say nobody should sabotage the process because it's a national event, because he believes in national contribution. And outside of me daddy, me daddy immediate junior sister who me papa called BN, one mommy, one daddy, they will call him Yelebu Kamara Taylor. She was married to Kamara Taylor and then get 4 picking them. So this is how rooted my family background is. And when you come to the mama side, my mama now first cousin to Edward M. Toure, Eddie Toure, as we've commonly known, Koto Eddie, and so we call her the family. Eddie in daddy, Nama in daddy, be Wamami, one daddy. So back and forth, both from the mother side and the father side, I am deeply rooted within the APC party in terms of family roots. Of course, again, I don't give background of my very self. After when I moved, come up, now Medina, Kana, Madia Secondary School, that's where I started to my O levels. From there, I went to the College of Business Studies. From there, moved to the UK. I was an ACC student, went up to part 2, after which it was quite difficult to make a young man come. You get for the drag, you pay your school fees here and there. So I switch courses, and then I end up for do a bachelor's degree, where I get a honors in. After which I did a master's program. Of course, the rest, is now, they will say history. Of course, at the moment, I am also a law student at the University of London. I don't work for the National Health Service since 2004 as a senior regulatory and compliance officer. So in terms of wealth of knowledge and experience, of course, I have that. I know what it means. I think so far so good. I go on for stop here in terms of introducing myself. But of course, I have contributed immensely to the APC party since I became very, very active here in the UK. I have represented the party on several events that way don't happen either in Sierra Leone or other parts of the diaspora. I don't represent the UK. When I actively joined the UK membership, I was an ordinary member at the youth wing. And then from there, I became an organizing secretary. From organizing secretary, I became the deputy youth leader and now outgoing youth leader, where they aspire for be the next chairman of the APC UK&I district, where we call branch.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much for telling me about yourself and from the family. Of course, you born in Freetown and then you go to Medina, Tonko Limba. You attend school day, you accommodate you kind of Freetown, attend school Ahmadiyya Muslim Secondary School where you take your O levels and then move on to business. And then from there you come, now the UK. From the business school, you come to the UK, you get a degree, a BA honors, and you get a master's degree, and now you're studying law, to law student, and you have experience in law enforcement. It's a law enforcement officer. Well, these are fine start.
Not
Okay,
law enforcement officers, regulator and compliance officer.
okay, regulate and compliance of
Regulate. So in other words, what we
regulatory.
do, we look at government regulations, requirements as to how they should be implemented and within the health services.
All right. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Well, Mr. Adams Bangura, you dey aspire for the position of the chairman for these districts. Can you confirm that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely,
Okay.
100%. Yes.
All right. Well, me personally, no go get a doubt, but the one with the view go want for know if you get the requisite skill which you get for bring come inside this particular, leadership role. Because this leadership role now, the top role now the UK&I. And if anybody to go for people are going for know the kind of caliber, which in really inspire you for go for the top position Why not the other one then? You come out as a youth leader. Now you want to go straight into the leadership of the branch na the UK and Ireland.
Thank you. Thank you very much, OrWanKaSu. I think in terms of understanding the dynamics within the APC party, if there is anything where anybody, and I mean anybody we historically know about this party, that the Youth League is a training ground for would-be leaders of our party. So just because you're coming from there does not necessarily mean so you not get what it takes. What in that means, it simply means that you're well-rooted and grounded within the ideas and ideology of we party. And oftentimes, some of the challenges that we they get in we party, like the fact that say people they come from nowhere, then we spring them into offices then they have no clue for running in. Absolutely, they get zero idea about the ideals about our party. So when they get to their offices and there are numerous challenges them as to how them for climbing through. So there can be no better person than having somebody who has gone through the rudiments of the National Youth League, as it were now National Youth Congress, we don't rise within the ranks as ordinary member, organizing, deputy organizing, and the youth leader. But again, for me, this position, sometimes people can say, when you point a finger to yourself, it can bend. So it simply means it is better when other people they blow you trumpet rather than you they blow you trumpet. But for the purposes of this interview, let me say what really, really inspired me on OrWanKaSu. I realized, say, as the next set of leaders now we party, and for somebody we gets the competent managerial experience, and for somebody we don't be an assessor of trainers, and I was one of those very first people in 2016 when the UK government introduced the apprentice scheme for go and train, would be school leaders and leavers, for get job experience so they become employable in the near future. I was one of those very first set of people when, when the NHS send and go and train, we begin to train people for make them go able to get jobs and they make themselves become employable. So I get that background of leading, not so just when I can be a member of the Youth League. I have been a leader right from day one and up to now, even at work. I am, I get a set of people in with and they under me direct supervision as their line manager. Okay. So you come to the APC party. Going for this position, basically for me, one, it's not just about me, it's about a way of inspiring people, the younger generations, for make them know, say, if this man who we all be the work with yesterday, now see where he's aspiring to, OrWanKaSu. And mind you, OrWanKaSu, the leaders of today, the leaders the way they make headway internationally, globally, they are young people where they are in their primes. When I me and you age group them. Not so people away you go see them day in their mid years, 60s, 70s, or 80s. No, these are people in their 30s and 40s. Now they lead the world and they have all that it takes. And that's now the boldness we made the bring come to the table without sounding as being arrogant. But I must confess that I'm equally placed, and if not the most competent person, most qualified person, now the race for lead the APC UK and I in this current dispensation, especially when we're in the position, because party gets the largest membership now Europe, I would say, with the exception of the Americans. But however, we don't find out, say, over time, people don't become less and less interested, even though they remain members and sympathizers of the APC party, they become less and less interested. This is because they're not able to get somebody who able to inspire them. And leadership comes with inspiration. It is one thing wanting to lead. It is also another thing that you can inspire people who will show interest, and then they will, by being inspired by you, they will want to follow and contribute. And I belong to a community within the Peckham community where I think that the bulk of the Sierra Leonean residents, that's where they are. I have been a member of several organizations. Key amongst them is AWOL, where it's a community-led charity organization. I was a founding secretary general, and then I became the vice chairman of AWOL. I would have been the chairman, but for the reasons here, I been for go stand for election. Now, Freetown, where I go run for symbol in 2017 before 2018 election. So in terms of experience, I think I get both local and international experience, coupled with an academic and managerial experience. So it is not just because I'm coming from the youth league, somebody will say, oh no, you just come from the youth league. No, by far, and I must say this with humility, amongst all of the candidates, I think I am most qualified and get the most experience in terms of either party history or in terms of management or any other thing where you would think, say, people need to make them know about receivees as to who's best placed for lead the party now.
Okay, thank you very much. Good submission. I know go want for ask you again about your loyalty to the party because you don't already demonstrate your competence for this position based on your academic background as well as your experience in various organizations then where you don't join and of course you work capacities then where you don't hold the positions then don't really tell say yes you get the capacity for run this branch or so to another level. So your loyalty to the party, of course, you born at APC, you don't name the camera tailors, you don't name your daddy, of course. Some of we sabi your daddy, the things the way you don't do, I've been chief and I get to Lane and Grammar Lane area, we all sabi and na possibly na a community person. And but the question we I be want for ask you, Mr. Adams, this branch in the past administration of Comrade Mustafa Ahmed Kuruma, it can boast of a lot of successes the way it don't make from the time we them he emerged as the chairman of this branch. It gets a lot of things that we can point at to say, yes, I don't do this, I don't do this, I don't do this. This is a big success. Although you not come out openly and tell we it, but you can talk about that in meetings and other places then. What thing you go able to bring differently the Adams administration of the APC UK and Ireland? What thing will make them different? Or how which you pick them up from and which level where you go can go, we go make them say, yes, this is really, a transition or a real transformation of this branch.
Thank you, OrWanKaSu. I must give credit to Comrade Mustafa. He did his own beat. Sometimes it is easier said than done that you're there from the outside, not knowing what others are going through at the particular office where they hold until you get there. Me in a possible way, I can forgive credit to people. That is one thing where people don't come for know me for. And that is one thing that I would want to bring to the table. As much as I think, say, I am best placed to lead our branch, I must also have the courage for give credence to people who side or don't do well. And one of the things we may go bring come at the table is one of fairness, respect, transparency, and honesty in our conversations. That is to say, OrWanKaSu, me and you, we don't do the main branch executive. You know the kind of person we I be, that you can be my very best friend, but where you have erred, where I think say you've done something wrong, I think say I get the decency enough for tell you say it is wrong. And then I give solution without covering you, make like for say everything that you have done is exceptional. No, it is not. Because when I do that, I they help you for make you fail. But if I take a position where you go no say we don't get this thing wrong, but when we take this corrective action for fix them, I think that means say I want to help you for make you succeed. Um, Again, like as I say, we get the membership where we get now the UK and I, or call it the level of sympathizers, people who they sympathize with the party. It's in the hundreds, probably close to 1,000. But when you look at the level of participation by these people, the active members, I wonder if we get fully active members that are up to 200-300. That is because over the years, we get people, they are members of the party, but we're not able to give them reasons as to why we for retain them within the party. So in other words, they become less interested. And when you register somebody as a member of your party, just say for the purposes of electing you, you do not do follow-up years later for given reason as to why they should be retained within the APC party. A, it is costing you in terms of membership. B, it is costing you financially, because if them people are able to retain them, now then 5 pound or small money where they get, it help in terms of fundraising for the party. And if that is the case, what do you do when you raise the money? Then it's about you being transparent with them with every single penny. So what I want to do as a leader is to ensure that every single penny is being accounted for by the people, and let the people know how their monies are being expended by my administration. Because when you do that, you then give them confidence for make them continue for deepening, for believe say yes, then go continue for support this party. And also, one of the other things that I would bring on the table, OrWanKaSu, if you ask, is empowerment of women. I am a family man. I get 5 people in my household, myself included. I got 3 girls, including my wife, and myself and my son. We're 5. So you find out, say, the woman then dominates my household. What does that mean? We get women there who are exceptionally brilliant. Now we branch. Ordinarily, they don't want for come na front for can participate. For the simple reason, because of the level of hate, the level of malice way with the display now with politics. So man they scared, so woman they scared say if I come front, somebody who can't disrespect me, can't call me names the way I not deserve. So they are scared of coming forward. So me one for can ensure say I will give them a voice, because in me they will find an ally. In me they will find a leader. We will able for listen to them, hear out their cries, and then bring it to the front and tell them say, take leadership because you deserve them, because you merit, and just like any other man that will hold a position. That is one thing also that I will bring on the table where I think say ain't not ever there. And another thing that I will, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Adams Bangura. We chairman William Mustafa Ahmed Kurma. Recently in a meeting, he said to we, in the pray to God, the next leader of this APC UK and Ireland branch or district, make it not go through waiting in don't go through. In the pray, make the next person where they succeed them not go through waiting in don't go through. There were 5 principal I would say figures we aspire for big chairman, including Mustafa. And when Mustafa emerged as the chairman, the rest of them promised for work with them. And along the way, some people decide say, maybe I need to work with this person, or good enough for me for work, under them. Or some people feel say, well, make I work with them because neither the chairman now anyway. What can I do? Some people come out boldly and try for guide them, whether he accept the guidance or he not accept the guidance. He try for ring fence himself by making himself somebody way too tough. You can't penetrate because you not be my opponent. Now we I don't become the leader now. I the ring fence myself. I no go take advice from you. All sorts of things happen along the years. Where some man go look at them, describe them as sabotage. Some man go say na undermining. Some man go say na this stabbing of the back and all of that. So he actually come out plain and talk say in the pray for make the person where they succeed am not become not day like I did. What are the thing the way Mustafa do for make person go do on that? Or what do you think say you go be as a leader, Adams Bangura, when the other one them don't fail for win this leadership, you can win them. You will not feel say them people and they will turn around and do what in some of them might be doing to Mustafa or Mustafa they think say, you know, in this backstab him or undermine him.
Thank you. Fantastic question, OrWanKaSu. I didn't see this one coming, but let me say this. Remember earlier on in one of my submission where I say something, say, for me, it's about you being honest to yourself. That is a famous quote when it's a Shakespearean quote that says, "To thyself be true." What does that mean? It means, say, if you're not honest to yourself, you will not be honest to the next person. By this, I mean, for me as Adams, and I pity my dear brother Comrade Mustafa that he went through quite a lot. I'm aware of it because me now a member of the outgoing executive. I know what the young man go through, and I pray we all they aspire so for succeed and we will not go through it. But on my own side, you ask what thing I would do differently. And this is what I would do differently. If you OrWanKaSu na me you party, you na me brother, I need to expect you, say because you support me, you for micromanage me. And sometimes that is where we can lose the plot as leaders. And I know they say this on the assumption, say something that that's me brother, be do, but when they talk about in me own case here. There was a time when the late brother, part of the people that we you call so Sheku Abes Kamara, you know how close he and I were. We were brothers. And during the intern and the now Abes I be the support. Abes I be the support. We were all over the place campaigning for Abes. However, let me say this, and this is something where Chairman Mustafa are aware of, and so is the people that we be the support at the time, the Abu Kabias, the Malcolms, and Salma. We were invited when the team became the leadership of the party. They invite we for consultation as to what are the young people and the youth, their recommendation. Malcolm was the leader. Now he say, Comrade Adams, I want to make you talk on behalf of we three. It was myself, Kabia by then be there with the youth wing, Malcolm and myself now with three go. Now Malcolm say, let me talk. And then I spoke on behalf of the young people as to who that I feel say a best place for lead the branch during this material time. And then I told them up front, I said, me na a best supporter. I said, but as it is, amongst all of the people, I think say Igofamo will give Mustafa an opportunity for make a lead. I said, because I have done my assessment and all of the thing, all of that amongst all of the aspirants there. I said, more we give him an opportunity. And then I laid, the premise as to why I think say it should be that way. All of them in the room, they were stunned. They were like, really? Wow. I said, no. Just because now Abes are the support does not necessarily mean say I can't say what in me conscience, me inner man, not tell me for do. I said, I could give him. I try. When the whole thing turned out for being in favor of Mustafa, he called me personally and thanked me, saying the team teller and all that. And I said, well, this is an opportunity for you now for make you work well. Now, But that's not sway me loyalty to our best. I remain loyal to him to the very end. There was a time we took a decision as a branch when this diaspora thing came. The executive took a position not to have participated at the diaspora summit or whatever it was in America. The branch voted. I didn't vote. I voted against it, but the majority had it. And in governance, when the majority don't vote, even when it does not please you, you will have to go by the will of the majority, because I am a Democrat. Unfortunately, my late brother then, Abes, he went there, even though it was within his own rights that he could have gone there as an APC member, but he went there and represented the branch, which was a mistake on his own part. He came back to the UK. An executive meeting was someone they wanted to take a decision, for make the expeller and all the rest of it. I stood up, I spoke in his favor, but at the same time, I told him that he was wrong, that he went there and represented the branch. But however, it not amounts to expulsion, because it's an APC event he go attend, even though yes, he attended it the wrong way. So I spoke there. The likes of Honorable Fofi and others, they were like, Adams, you're a decent young man. Now I see why so many people, they say you're very upfront. I say it's not about being upfront. It's about being fair to people, even when they're your friends. If they've done something wrong, you say it. So that is what I would do as a leader, OrWanKaSu. Coming to your question. If you, OrWanKaSu, are my best of friend, you do something, I think, say, I for able to get the courage and tell you, OrWanKaSu, say, please don't do this. Let's do it this way. But the idea that people support you and then they want to come micromanage you, because that has been one of the major challenges we don't get with branch. People took sides because they feel say this not me allegiance to this person. Now what do we want this person for do and this person to do? And unfortunately, and in most cases, then when I've been the leaders and they fail for it. And that was where the problem came from. We were bringing to USA with this so now we branch over the last couple of years. And it's a major problem.
This position we they aspire to, a leadership position, at the top city they aspire for. And leadership is about strategy. Winning an election is about strategy. We are coming to an election very soon. Why you choose Tambanano for be your running mate?
Wow, fantastic. When we started this whole process 2.5 years ago, I think if the election be done happen 2.5 years ago, so until then time that for almost get 6 months now till we first time from when we finish. It was a strategic move. I belong to the main executive of the branch. And one of the major issues where we don't get now the branch is the idea of London centric. Everything is London concentrated, everything. And the chapter leaders, they've been very concerned about it. And in most cases, they have raised issues as to why is it everything London, 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 London. And me and one party people will be done the push for decentralization, that we should delegate powers to the chapters, and because they are equally members of our branch. APC UK and I is not London UK and I. So we should decentralize power. And that was the reason why deliberately, I went to the chapters, and my brother Tambanano and I get a fantastic conversation, and then we became bodies and a team. It was a strategic move in its sense, because I wanted to decentralize power. That was a strategic move.
Right. Okay. Adams, you see leadership and negotiation. Right now, the Adams Bangura Tambanano camp, they under behind the doors or behind closed doors negotiation with other, factions or other leadership contenders, which is not a hidden secret. Everybody knows, see, there's a serious conversations, then negotiation that they go on and on. A leader, one of the qualities of a leader, for able for negotiate, for able for bend backwards, for able for give and take, for be a good listener, for able for accommodate, all them qualities, then the leader forget out. But I dey understand, say Adams stand 9 feet, they put him foot down, they even budge, they shake, they do anything. Adam just continue what he they do, believe in what he believe in. Why unable to negotiate with the other leadership, contenders, then for making reach an agreement for this UK and Ireland branch?
Thank you, Commodore OrWanKaSu. There is a perception where some person get out there about Adams way they no know. That is to say, most times people can perceive me wrongly. Adams is a very flexible person. Adams na way very accommodating, very loving and caring, and he's also very helpful. But I am also a very disciplined person where they guide me integrity jealously. That is to say, we don't negotiate. We dey negotiate, but wetin I no go want for do OrWanKaSu, I no go negotiate to a point just because I want power. I will go give away all of my integrity out there because I am desperate for power. To a point, I not even dey think about the consequences behind it, that I might succeed for get this power, but at the same time, I will be weakened going into the whole process. We are negotiating, but there are areas the way if I think say, and the team, this is not about me. If the team thinks that this year it go call with credibility into question, we'll be very upfront and say, this area, there's a gray area there. We don't get issues and we've been approached by teams. We're negotiating here and there. We've been very frank. And by the way, we've had conversations with just about all of the teams that we did in the race. It's only that areas that they will not say they are gray areas, we go call with credibility into question. We've been very firm and say, no, this is going to be difficult with no disrespect to any person. OrWanKaSu, I want to go out there and win on my own merits and the team own merit. More go there, we win on the merits of the team. But let us not go there. We give away all of our pride and integrity just because we want power. Come on, this is an internal fight.
Right. What they think now? So some people they think say maybe for back off or for back down or for stand down from your initial position now a sign of weakness. And when you want to be a leader, you get for show that sign of assertiveness. We don't take your position, you have to stand by that position. But if you move from that position there by giving, negotiating, because when you go for good negotiate, you for prepare, forgive, and then receive. You need to go into a negotiation and then you go with the same position where you go in and the same position where you come out. You understand? So if not the case, if somebody back down or stand down from the initial position, now a sign of weakness in leadership.
I don't see it as a sign of weakness. Assertiveness is also about being assertive, is also about being courageous as a leader. Sometimes it's about courage, it's about conviction that I am going into this race because I think, say, at this material time, I am best suited to lead the APC UK and I, with no disrespect to the other candidates in where they stand. So if that is the case, OrWanKaSu, my inner man, I am convinced within me. So if we are negotiating, let us negotiate on the area where I know, say, probably I have a weakness in there. On the area where I think, say, there is flexibility. But not on the area where we know, say, there is strength. And then you expect, say, no, you're forgiving, also strength there. No, that's not. In other words, you're telling me to give way for you because you think, say, quote and unquote, now you next. No, it does not work that way.
Now, so it appear like the 5 principal people that we been aspired before in the last administration. Not only one of them they aspire today for the leadership position, when Simeon Bangura. Simeon Bangura believes say it don't work for this branch so. He loyal to Chairman Mustafa and he don't serve. And because of that, naturally, if or be allowed for make you aspire, whereas others think differently, you know. And would you blame Simeon from aspiring or for saying what he said, or you just don't believe that he has actually served or he get the clouds for able for lead, you know, compared to your own ambition what you get for this branch?
OrWanKaSu, that's a fantastic question. Let me say this. Everybody gets your own way how it define loyalty. Everybody, you can be loyal to somebody because you have an intention. Say one day you say if you want power, you can be loyal to some person, and then you also want to make it succeed genuinely with what they bring at the table for help the person succeed. If it were to go by track records, again, I want to be respectful to my opponent, but that's for you as member of our executive for make you decipher and make you read into them, and then you know, and then you people will make their judgment. However, the success of the chairman, not to one person, now all of us. And if there is any wing that has been very, very active and supportive to the chairman, has been the youth wing. And I say this with authority. I remember there was a time when a vote of non-confidence was passed on the chairman. The chairman was very, very helpless. He was very, very helpless. It was under my leadership that I summoned a meeting. I issued a letter. In fact, I not even allowed the secretary. I personally write a letter and sign up that we will stand by the chairman. He remains the chairman and will continue to support him. So if I were not loyal, I would not have gone that far to standing by the chairman and defending in leadership. If I were not loyal, I would not have rallied the support of the young people from what we contribute to kind contribution we give to the chairman and in branch. If I were not loyal, I don't think say me and the chairman will get this kind of good relationship. For me, I don't look at personal relationship. I believe as leaders, we for always get a common ground as to why we for able for sit down and work together in the interest of we party. That is what I would bring to the table differently. I know they can say can't vote for me because now me next I was loyal to the chairman. Of course, every one of us was and is.
Okay.
But look at what the state of our branches do like today. Look at the state. You and I know for the last 6.5 years, going 7 years, we've had the most fractious branch in the entire diaspora. So much to a point, the former leader and chairman, former president, he got so upset and he did not even visit us for that long because he said, well, now fix yourself. And nobody wants to come to a party who say, peace no day. So talking about the 5 people and my brother Simeon still showing ambition, that's entirely his decision to make. But I think, say, over time, the people and way they've been there, a lot of them, the 3, with the exception of my late brother Abeswodin, a true world today, may so rest in peace. Okay. What did they say? They say if they accuse we say we the top 5, now we not the problem at the branch, now we make the branch de leka ide, so we need to stand again. This was a position where I am sure Abu Black, Chairman Abu Black hold, a position where I am sure Mohammed Sisse 91 hold, a position where Chairman Mustafa, where by the way, he still gets a right if he had wanted to stand, if he don't stand. That's why the fact say he don't even do more than 2 terms. Because now 1 term they be elected for. If I stand back. But you look at it and say, I need to give peace a chance. Make other people and come. So if my brother Simeon in things say he was never part of it and he want for stand, that is for the voters to decide. That's for the people to decide, for make them decide if now me and don't left na the race and see say who amongst these 2 we finally go able to give with peace na the branch. Mindful of the fact say he's the outgoing secretary of our branch, we may think say he could have played an equally pivotal role, knowing that say you get an ambition for succeed the chairman, that he could have done more. It is not just about I was loyal to the chairman. Of course, every one of us was loyal to the chairman. But what else did you do beyond just being loyal to the chairman? What else did you do to consolidate your membership? What else did you do to help in terms of fundraising drives? What else did you do to help in terms of all of the barrage of accusations that was being thrown at the administration. When people were asking that we need to audit XYZ, what else did you do in terms of all of the things there? For me, that is what leadership means. That in the midst of every other thing, it's not just about saying, oh, I was loyal to the chairman, with respect. I mean, you can be loyal to the chairman, but at the same time, if you not help the chairman for making get most of the things right, as helpful as the chairman did his best, he could have done more. He could have done more. And I say this with authority, if he been get that support today from the secretariat. If he been get that support from the secretariat. And with so much humility and respect, I have so much respect for the brother. You know, if the brother, as the secretary, if been prove himself exceptionally well, something that maybe for them being campaign manager. But I think say we need a genuine conversation around this whole leadership succession as to who's best.
Okay, Adams Bangura, now you are the very first person who they aspire for a leadership position for come na the upfront interview with Comrade OrWanKaSu for can actually speak to your potential voters them, for let them vote for you. Indeed, we commend you for taking the bold step for doing that. And I'm sure the other leaders, they really aspire for the same position, go follow suit. Then say go come, then can tell we within they don't do in terms of the service to we branch for make the people and go consider them for vote for them. But I want to say thank you for this. It seems like for say people are going helter skelter, aspiring for positions. Some of you don't begin to think say is this just about grabbing a position, waiting actually you they do with that position day. And we are very close to the elections, the general elections where we all want for achieve a victory in less than 6 months time. Now elections is about money. Very, very, very important. Money they play a big role. The UK and Ireland at this time around, there's no plan we put in place except for the Midlands branch where I see them put something we get to do with fundraising. We applaud so much. What are your strategy for raise fund for the party and what are your financial targets where you try for we go want to achieve for help the party for win the 2023 June elections?
Thank you, OrWanKaSu. As I say earlier on, one of the main reasons why I decide say at the run, it's about also inspiring the next set of leaders that we party. Leadership is about engagement. I'm not going to say I want to be leader, then at the back, then they expect me subordinates then for make them day out, therefore take the leadership role from me. You know, I should be at the front. And that is what I am doing, engaging. And I think say amongst we understand, I don't know if somebody else we don't attend on our programs there ever since we get the media operations now we branch, but I have been out there speaking to the people, not just today. So my engagement did not just start today. In terms of financial strategy, that is what I am doing now as we speak. So now, creating confidence in the people, because when they have confidence in the leader, somebody go pull say, I donate 5,000, I donate 10,000. And I have reached out to people that they are genuine sympathizers of we party, where I don't ask. And some of them don't tell me genuinely, say, Adams, if God give the leadership, we will come in handy and support because we believe in you. We know, say, if we put money outside you day, you will able to account for every single penny. And the party, now this UK and I, go become more vibrant. So in terms of putting strategies and mechanisms in place, I'm mindful of the fact that we get very, very limited time going into the June election. We teamed on the work on fundraising drives in the events that God give a victory will just spring straight away. And one of which, getting the leadership at the various chapters, and then when we ensure say we will task them with what we expected and for come on the table, we'll all sit down, then we'll draw a strategic plan. Because I don't want to be a leader that where they can't impose. I want us to everybody to have a buy on that table. And then may we see leadership comes by example, and by you, the leader, taking the lead. What would I bring on the table first as a leader? Say, I will put X amount, and then what are the other executive members going to do? By so doing, we would inspire the general membership, and then we'll look for an event where we will say, we want to take up this event. How are we going to finance this event? By the money that we don't put, and then we go on a massive, fundraising drive. We want to do that. But the fundraising drive will not just be limited only to an event, quote and unquote. There are people out there where we go able for approach and write letters to. But again, that again comes with confidence in the leadership. Because man will put in money per leader we not get confidence in. I am sorry, they will not. It comes because it's an investment. They want to see a return. So man in return, not to for make APC go get a job. They want to see a return by APC being lively, APC being this effective in the UK and I.
Okay,
So that's the return.
Adams.
Yes, sir.
Elections, they're around the corner, like the UK and I. And we get people them with wealth of experience, wealth of academic background, we not be ever know before. We don't begin to see which some man we don't do. They don't come forward, some of them don't begin to tell we, some of them don't begin to put on them flyers and stuff like that. Win or lose, this is an election. When you lost election, first of all, not so easy thing for us. And when you lose the election, you are nobody. You aspire for a position. When you lost, you lost. You don't go sit down for the next 3 years. Although some people can promise, say, oh, I go work with you while we win. But at the back end of every election, the discouragement, the disgruntlement, the sabotage attitude, the ego, all sorts of things. How you go able, which strategy we get for able for galvanize everybody, for put them together, for raise this fund we they talk about. It is not just those who win the elections. This is APC. Those who you're contesting with are APC members. So you just don't talk about the one that we will win. You could call all the chairs them. Yes, those are the people that won the election. Yes, you could call them when I go sit down. What about those people who have lost the elections and they are feeling downtrodden? And are you be able to bring them come, for make them not sabotage you, make them not put you in a situation which them will begin to ridicule you? Like way Mustafa they feel saying as that's what they do them, they stab them behind the back. Over to you.
OrWanKaSu, I understand that losing an election is never an easy thing. The aspect of people sabotaging you, it is something that I have witnessed as a leader. There was a time when we get an event at the national leadership of the party, when we wrote fundraising letters given to so many people at the branch. People were calling people not to donate to the youth wing. I know those people. So I'm aware of people, the length where people can go for sabotage things that we are not dealing with. OrWanKaSu, you don't go one election nationally. What we go as far for symbol. We know what it means for lose. It is never an easy thing for just giving like that. But what is most important is the love for your party. When you and I were not awarded the symbol, the party tell we say more we go campaign for we opponents. Because of the love what we get for the APC party, we did that to OrWanKaSu. We use real money. The candidates will go campaign for. We were powerful more than then our constituencies. Now we will people and be want. I know that as in your own story, just as in mine.
Yeah.
But we go campaign for them. We genuinely go campaign for them because we cared about the APC party. So if you say you love and care about this party, win or lose, trust me, you go able for come and contribute for the party. You go able to come and contribute for the party. So as a leader, what I would do is genuinely I will reach out to my opponents and in supporters and give them genuine reason why we for work together. Yes, there will be resistance, but my own approach now for use an olive branch, an olive approach for make sure see we all come together in the interest of the party. because it is never a zero-sum game for say, oh, I don't win, now me, I don't need the other person. It's never in politics.
Okay.
Never in politics.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but we will give them reasons why we for work together collectively in the interest of our party.
Absolutely.
Because being the leader does not guarantee you say if APC can have power, you they succeed. It does not guarantee you that. We don't see that now with party. It's about what you can do for the party.
Yeah.
So OrWanKaSu, if God say we the win, we'll bless God and find a way for me to get way for how we work for a party. But if God's God not destiny, because I'm a man of faith, I believe in my God. If God not destiny, OrWanKaSu, I think I am known within the rank and file of our party. I don't need for be UK and I chairman for me to know me anymore. They know me. And they know what they bring at the table. So outside of the UK and I can stand on my own. I just need a platform for the UK and I for make I bring all of that strength and zeal and enthusiasm way I don't get all these years for make I work for we party with authority. Because in some areas, when you go for God advocate for your party, they ask you how you come. It simply means what authority do you have? And that's all I'm asking for. So I can go out there and do my best.
All right, fantastic. Adams Bangura, you aspire for this position of the chair. Now, the APC UK and Ireland districts, the top position. Yes, you don't really submit very well. You don't demonstrate a lot of strength, a lot of skills, very strategic in all your moves that we don't take. You have succeeded in a lot of things that we don't do in your life. You're still young, you're very successful, you're a family man, and you aspire for this position of the chair and this UK and I. What are the things that we don't do along the years where you will look at back and say, if I can get the opportunity again and for make a difference? Basically, what are your regrets? What you don't regret in life? What are the things that we could turn around and say, no, this was a mistake?
Probably one of which I will say, my friend and brother Mohammed 91 can say to me, he say, Adams, you have all that it takes. He said, you only problem where you let for talk too much. What does that mean? It means sometimes you have to be circumspect. And not mean say you need to talk through, but you reevaluate and you look at the position where you occupy during that material time, and then you know which kind of true way they talk. Where people can say not true way they cause problem, not talk. Probably I will say, for me, that is one of the things where, as a leader, where I go get for make I work on myself, and I don't do them. A lot of the time for make I take in on so many things and say, no, take your time. As much as you are this person where you let forget things this way, you're this, you're that, but you need to be circumspect in the way we go about it. For me, that is one thing that I have learned. And in so many cases, people that don't use that as a weapon for come after me. Regrettably, not because I have done anything wrong, but because then she say there was a time when I talked something true that they were not happy with. And I have learned as a young man, as somebody of my youthful age then, that is one of the things I have learned from, that you have to be circumspect. And it is one thing that, God willing, way I don't get experience in, and not say, you have to be careful the way you go about it. Take your time, be more engaging, and ensure that you bring people together. And one of my major strengths, OrWanKaSu, I'll say it. Even when I know say, if you OrWanKaSu, you defect me, you not like me, trust me, I will continue to be your friend. I will continue to work with you. Because if OrWanKaSu occupy an office, he has a duty. He gets a responsibility, just as I am, as a leader. So I have a task for make I work with OrWanKaSu. It is not for OrWanKaSu for like me for my work with her. No. I demonstrated as a youth leader. Some people are going to say this is very difficult to work with. And if you succeed in that youth wing, there's nowhere else where you succeed, because you're dealing with the most, controversial people to lead. Somebody they know best say this, it affects you. It affects you.
Yes.
What I have done is to carry everybody. And also, if I know say, when you get an office, you are challenged in some areas, you're not able to deliver. My own role as a leader is to come as a complementary angle. Behind the scenes, I will call you. If I get to do the job for you, I go do it for you quietly. I send it to you, say, put your name, do this, make so, make so. That's how you inspire people. By
Yeah.
the that, that's how people they learn. So that's a strength for me. So I
Fantastic.
understand all of that, OrWanKaSu.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. We are coming to the end of this. Almost we are at the end of this interview. It has been very, very interactive. Of course, Mr. Adam Storm presents himself very, very well. He does show some real leadership qualities that I also for this interview. And of course, the one who the viewer will obviously, make decisions from within it don't say now. So, and of course, from the time they would know over the years. But we want for give you one last opportunity because this is an opportunity for make you speak to the voters, for make them vote for you, for make you convince them for let them vote for you. And so far, your submissions them, satisfactory, very very satisfactory. So, but you get one last chance. Make you speak to the voters. Then tell them why we for vote for Adams Bangura for the chairman for APC UK and I district. Over to you.
Thank you, OrWanKaSu. To comrades of the APC UK and I, delegates of the various chapters and outgoing branch executive members, main branch executive members. Me now una comrade and brother comrade Adams Bangura. Over the last decades or more, una don't know me and una know me output. In terms of loyalty and contribution to this party. If today, so many of we and so many young people, they aspire for take leadership. I think by the grace of God, some of we don't help for instill that confidence they in them, for make themselves know say they can be out there and continue for sure say they can contribute. You know what I will bring at the table. Now opposition we did. And in opposition, one thing I always say to people, you make use of your best of machinery where you will help for come with you in a governance. What in are this best of machinery? May we not sound with being sentiments. Let us not be sentimental as to the best people who think we're able to lead with branch, especially at this material time. Because if we get it wrong now, in the days running up to June, we get for need leaders then that we branch way for stand up for take the leadership. We get for need leaders then. We get for go na the diaspora because we are no longer going to be a standalone branch in the UK. Now we belong to the 6th region. And the 6th region comprises of 22 or more countries. So it's no longer going to be just UK. Trade where the party go deal with we no more as an entity. No. Now they deal with we as a unit. Now the diaspora. And una need leader where they go na the diaspora who is very assertive, very negotiative, go able for go negotiate from now. Get negotiable skills for ensure say it deliver for the UK and I. We need leaders where they go on that table, who na get assignment, it ensure say it bring results from now. We need leaders where then go summon for go make a case for the UK and I, whether it's the UK Houses of Parliament or some other international organization where they know what they go do there in terms of representation. We need leaders. We do not just need followers. We need leaders where they get a proven record of representation of we party nationally. So I come back to una for ask una say, I dey stand to be the next chairman of we branch. With me, I'll be very honest and open with una. When things are difficult, I go hold me hand up and admit and ask say we have gotten it wrong, but more will look for solution. I not go come and pretend to una, say I have all of the solutions. But one thing that I know that I have is my integrity. I will bring it to the table. That I'll be very honest and be very upfront with una as to what is workable, where I go put to una. We all go sit down on that table, we draw up strategic plans And I will ensure you that every single one of them will work towards. And we ensure that we get them right. Because for me, it is not just about wanting to lead, but it's about ensuring that the branch where we all proud of, one of the premier branch of the diaspora, where we are the founding fathers of the diaspora, we remain at the very top and be proud of ourselves. When we not go represent, when we not go elect somebody where they go represent, we at all times we go for the ask ourselves, say, hey, bro, what thing for Kapu na again? What in this possible can say na again on our behalf? Or what you go can Apple, hey, Papa God, you only have one chance to make a change. And that chance is at the ballot box when the time comes for make you vote for Adams Bangura as your next chairman of the UK and I district or UK and I branch of our party. Thank you.
Comrades of the APC, you have been listening to Comrade Adams Fode Bangura, aka of Fortina, of Fortina of Ketui Lane, of Fortina of Brima Lane.
That's right.
Young man, where they lead the APC UK and I youth wing, of course, the aspirants where they aspire for the APC UK and I district. Comrades, without further ado, we don't beat with time, and I want to say plenty thank you to all the viewers them, and thank you to the production team, and thank you to the technical team. Over to you, Mina Comrade OrWanKaSu.